The Mandalorian in the shadow of the Predator, the new model Razor Crest, descended silently over an uncharted jungle planet, hidden from even the most detailed galactic maps. The canopy below was thick and steaming, shrouding the land in layers of humidity and shadows. In the cockpit, Din Djarin the Mandalorian stood with the bounty puck glowing in his hand, a rare directive, capture alive, marked in red, underlined twice. The target, a creature from beyond the known systems referred to only as Predator. The payout was enormous, but so were the odds of never returning. Beside him, Grogu floated in his hoverprom, eyes wide as he peered at the dense wilderness below. Mando scanned the mission file again, garbled recordings, thermal scans, and body counts. This thing had torn through a full squad of Imperial hunters on a Black Ops contract. No one had survived long enough to describe it. Grogu gave a soft whimper, and Din rested a gloved hand briefly on his head. "Yeah," he muttered. "I've got a bad feeling too." They landed on a clearing choked by moss and twisted roots. The moment the ramp lowered, the jungle swallowed them in oppressive silence. Mando activated his helmet's full scan mode, heat sensors, motion detection, audio spikes, nothing too quiet. Predators, the natural kind, usually filled jungles with noise. This one had gone still, and that made it worse. Grogu floated close, visibly tense, his ears tilting with each breeze. They moved slowly, carefully, through the overgrowth. A half-collapsed structure came into view, Imperial metal, twisted and scorched. It had been a temporary forward post. Mando approached, weapon ready, and stopped cold when he saw the first body, then a second, then a third. The troopers were eviscerated, armor peeled open like cans, and circular plasma burns drilled into their chests. The walls bore signs of acid damage and massive claw marks. "He's already been here," Mando muttered, crouching near the corpses. Without warning, his helmet's HUD pinged, momentary heat signature, fast and high above. He spun, but there was nothing. The thermal trail vanished in a blink. Then came a sound, not loud, but deliberate, a sudden click. From above, a net of metallic cables snapped down. He dodged, barely, but one edge sliced his shoulder armor. Grogu reached out, his little hand trembling, and with a pulse of the Force, hurled the net away and slammed it into a tree. The Predator emerged, towering 7 feet of sleek armored muscle, mandibles dreadlock like tendrils over its shoulders. It carried no rifle. It was the weapon. Mounted on its shoulder, a plasma caster swiveled, locking on. Mando fired first bolt after bolt of energized charge, but they sparked uselessly against the alien's armor. The Predator returned fire. A blast of blue energy split a tree in half beside them. They retreated behind stone ruins, hearts pounding. Mando tossed a pair of flash charges, disrupting the creature's thermal vision, and knelt beside Grogu. "We can't kill it," he said quickly. "But maybe we don't have to." He'd fought monsters, droids, Sith cultists, but this was different. It wasn't just hunting, it was studying. Choosing when to kill and when not to. Grogu stared at him, understanding in his eyes. His tiny fingers gripped Mando's glove. There was another way. Near the ruins, Mando had noticed the remains of a temple structure, ancient, embedded with rare magnetic resonance coils once used to trap energy beasts. With Grogu's help, he reactivated them. It was risky. They only had one shot. He used his helmet's voice modulator to broadcast lures into the trees, simulated heartbeats, movement, pain. He stepped into the open, exposed, as bait. The Predator came again, this time slowly, methodically. It dropped from the trees like a phantom, retracting its shoulder cannon. Mando realized it wanted a fight, not a slaughter, an honorable kill. Din holstered his rifle and drew his blade. They circled. The creature struck first, impossibly fast. Blades clanged, sparks flew. Mando barely dodged a wrist blade that could have opened his throat. He fought defensively, always stepping closer to the designated trap zone. The alien pressed harder, sensing weakness, but he was being led. As the creature raised both arms for a final strike, Grogu acted. With a silent push through the Force, he activated the resonance field. Hidden plates in the stone flared to life, magnetizing with explosive force. The Predator's gauntlets and shoulder armor locked up, dragging him violently against the wall. He struggled, growled, screeched, but couldn't move. Din raised his modified rifle and shot a hide-and-city tranquilizer into the creature's neck. The needle hissed. The Predator roared, then collapsed to its knees. Its mask fell loose, revealing a snarling, fanged visage, but not rage, not fear. Respect. Din lowered his weapon slightly, breathing hard. He stared into those alien eyes. "You're a warrior," he said, "but so am I." Carefully, he removed the Predator's weapon systems and bound its arms with reinforced Beskar cable. Grogu floated closer, watching silently, as if feeling the storm of thought inside the alien's mind. When the pickup ship arrived, a black Imperial vessel, Din was already suspicious. The commanding officer stepped out, clapping slowly. "Impressive," he said. "You managed what 12 of ours couldn't." Then his face darkened. "Now give us the creature." "And the child." Mando tensed. He'd heard those words before. "That's not part of the deal," he replied coldly. "The bounty's alive. You want it, pay. But no one touches the kid." The troopers raised their rifles. The officer smirked. Kill them both. Mando didn't hesitate. He'd planted charges on the ship's rear thrusters. With a single tap of his vambrace, explosions rocked the vessel. Chaos erupted. Grogu raised both hands and sent a pulse through the air. Weapons were torn from troopers' grips and flung aside. Din dropped one with a stun round and tackled another before they could regroup. Smoke filled the air, screams, blaster fire. But the Predator remained unconscious, untouched, bound, still breathing. They escaped with seconds to spare, boarding the Razor Crest and lifting off as the enemy ship erupted behind them. Din laid the Predator in a containment pod, sealed and pressurized. Coordinates already fed into the nav system, a neutral science station, unaffiliated with the Empire. Someone would study the creature, learn from it, not weaponize it. As they entered hyperspace, Grogu curled into Din's lap and yawned. The Mandalorian looked down at him and shook his head with a tired smile. You always find a way to complicate things. Grogu cooed sleepily outside the viewport. Stars stretched into lines. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, full of shadows. But for now, they had survived the hunt, and that meant they were winning.